But what I like to talk about with you is the power that you have to change the way that Congress does business, because we are so old school. We are stuck in the old generation, and I am certainly part of that old generation, but my young staff has dragged me into this new century of new ways of communicating, new ways of networking, new ways of reaching out to our constituency. And I have found, after great reluctance on my part, how effective these new technologies can be. And I'm doing all that I can to Twitter, to get on Facebook. When we were going to have a beach cleanup day in just 2 weeks, and we put it up on as a meetup, something like that, on Facebook, and we've gotten an incredible response. Now, in the old days, as in 6 months ago, I would have sent out a press release, probably by fax, and not known whether we're really reaching the audience we'd like to reach or not. But now we put it on all these new networking tools that are available to us, and I have found them to be quite valuable as a member of Congress. And I know that out of this conference, out of this summit, out of this briefing, you will come forward to Congress with recommendations of what we can do to improve our ability to communicate, and legislation that we can pass that will enable you to also further your outreach efforts. And I think that's especially true in minority and historically underserved communities. And I think it's a myth to say that old-timers like this one right here cannot be brought into this new century. In fact, when I look at Miami-Dade adult classes that they offer free of charge, you see computer classes and new technology classes increasingly filled with senior citizens, because they want to know how to make that strange little object in their room work. And I'm not as plugged in as is that Cliff Stearns, Congressman Cliff Stearns of Florida. He's I think his whole system is on Mac, right? He's really with it. So pretty good. So for me as a member of Congress, I have found it to be a practical application, something that I never would have thought of doing, and I would have thought that only people who have too much time on their hands or on the computers so much, and I find that's not true at all. I've been so out of it. So if an old gal like me can come around, then you can certainly work with Congress to give us your recommendations of what we can do to improve the technology, to make sure that everybody could get interconnected and include all this access for all of the communities. By doing so, there will not be any underserved community. There will not be any overlooked community. Everybody will be wired. Everybody will be connected, and everyone can learn from one another. So as a born-again convert to this technology, I want to say thank you for being at the cutting edge and letting us know how we can improve our communication tools. And I look forward to getting your policy recommendations and hoping that we in Congress can pass that into legislation that can improve everyone's life.